Young.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for appearing before this committee. Earlier this year, Charles Littlejohn was sentenced to prison for disclosing thousands of tax returns to ProPublica. Mr. Johnson, as you likely know, my Republican colleagues and I took great interest in this situation, and we were frustrated, to put it charitably, that it took the IRS and the DOJ quite a long period of time to identify the leaker and to ultimately bring him to justice. Looking to the future, I'm concerned that there will be another IRS employee, whether that's a full-time employee or perhaps a government contractor, that will make inappropriate disclosures that may inappropriately exploit their position and their access to the most sensitive records, taxpayer information, and to do so for political gain, possibly. So I just want should be an easy question. In your opinion, is it ever acceptable, sir, for an IRS employee or contractor to disclose confidential information illegally, yes or no?
Is never appropriate.
Okay. I'll note that Mr. Littlejohn admitted to leaking confidential information about thousands of taxpayers. The Biden administration chose to charge him on a single count, one count, of unauthorized disclosure of taxes. Thousands of taxpayers affected, one single count. So if you're confirmed to this position and an IRS employee or a contractor illegally discloses confidential taxpayer information during your tenure, will you recommend to the prosecutor in the case that the individual be charged for each violation? Yes or no, sir?
As a former prosecutor, I think that it is really important to take every case on a case-by-case basis in terms of what the recommendation would be. Ultimately, it would be the Department of Justice that would make that determination, not the investigating agency, not TIGTA. But if the point of your question is, do I believe that unauthorized access and disclosure of taxpayer information is one of the most serious offenses? Yes, I do.
Actually, the point of my question is to get clarity on whether you will overlook accounts of unlawful disclosure and recommend something less than charging for each violation. And so what I'm hearing from your response is there may in fact be times in which it's not appropriate to charge a leaker for each individual offense. Is that accurate?
That's not accurate. It would be up to the Department of Justice to make those determinations, but I will tell you.
So what would you recommend in this capacity for which you have been nominated and you seek my vote for confirmation?
Yes, Senator. I mean, respectfully, I would have to say it would be a case-by-case basis, but as a general concept, I take these cases very seriously, and I don't want you to misinterpret what I'm saying is that I disagree with the sentiment that you're making.
Yes, sir.
I deal with the sanctity of veteran health records at the VA-OIG. As the head of the Office of Investigations, when we find out that there's been unauthorized access to a veteran information, we take each one extraordinarily seriously.
And then let me just allow you to unpack it. Please be brief. I have a limited amount of time. Under what circumstances would you not recommend that there is a prosecution in a case of a violation of the law? Illegal.
Yeah, I don't know that would happen. I thought your question was more geared towards whether I would recommend multiple charges or a single charge in the resolution of a criminal case. And under because of the sentencing guidelines, the sentence may ultimately be the same. But again, the facts and circumstances matter. I know with many cases where there are victims, it is very important that each victim be represented as an individual count, and I have recommended those before.
All right. I'm going to continue with the hypothetical with your indulgence.
Sure.
Assuming you're confirmed and there's another illegal IRS data disclosure that happens on your watch, do you commit to investigating the matter as promptly as possible, providing majority and minority staff of this committee with monthly updates regarding your investigation? Monthly updates, yes or no?
I don't know the level of updates I would be able to provide if there's a criminal investigation, because there are laws that prevent the disclosure.
What laws would
information.
preclude you from providing monthly updates to this committee? As someone who has been nominated, seeks my confirmation vote for this position, you should be versed in those laws, I assume.
I would endeavor to provide you all the information that I can under the law, because I do believe in transparency, and I do believe that Congress has an important oversight role and that you need to be equipped in a timely fashion. But I do believe that there are.
And if that is permitted under the law, you would be willing to pledge here to provide this committee with those monthly updates. Is that accurate, sir?
Consistent with law, yes.
Okay. I routinely hear from community foundations and other philanthropic organizations in my state about the importance of anonymous donations. Unfortunately, some states have targeted these donors to reveal their identities, despite donors' First Amendment protections. For that reason, Senator Langford and I have introduced the Protecting Charitable Giving Act earlier this year. The legislation would help nonprofit organizations better protect the identities of their donors by reinforcing existing privacy protections and increasing penalties for disclosure of sensitive taxpayer data. Mr. Johnson, do you believe that charitable giving serves a valuable role in society? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you also agree that existing laws regarding illegal disclosure of charitable donor information should be vigorously enforced? Yes or no?
I think all laws should be enforced.
And that would include these?
Yes.
Yes. If confirmed, do you commit to working with myself and members of this committee to ensure donor information is secure from illegal disclosure?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Chairman.